My brother dunked my 8-year-old at the lake until she came up screaming, then called her a baby for crying. So I reminded the whole reunion what he did to me in that same lake at that same age. I heard my daughter before I saw her. Emma came thrashing out of the water, gasping, her lips blue, snot and lake water running down her chin. My brother Kyle was laughing behind her, both hands still up like he'd just finished a magic trick. "She's fine," he said before I could even open my mouth. "Kids gotta toughen up." I got to her and she grabbed my shirt so hard her nails scratched my neck. He kept pushing me down. I couldn't come up. I couldn't breathe, Daddy. "How many times?" I asked Kyle. He shrugged. 3, 4. "She's being dramatic. Look at her." He pointed at her crying and rolled his eyes at the rest of the family on the shore. 8 years old and crying like a baby over a little water. Soft, just like her dad was. A few of my cousins laughed. My Aunt Diane laughed. My mother, sitting under the umbrella, actually smiled into her iced tea. That smile did something to me. "Just like her dad was," I repeated. "Come on." Kyle grinned, wading toward the shore. "Remember how much of a crybaby you were. Same lake. You'd scream if a fish touched your foot. Tell them the real story, Kyle." He stopped. The grin flickered. "What story?" I stood up. Emma still clung to my leg. "1998. This lake. That dock right there." I pointed. "I was 8. You were 14. Here we go," Kyle said, but his voice had changed. "Tell them what you did, or I will. I dunked you a couple times. Big deal. You held me under," I said. "Not for a second. Not for a joke. You put your hand on the top of my head and you leaned. And when I clawed your arm, you leaned harder." The family had gone quiet. My mother set down her tea. "I stopped fighting," I said. "That's the part nobody knows. I stopped clawing because my arms didn't work anymore. I saw the sun through the water and I thought, this is it. This is how I die. At my own family's reunion." "You're exaggerating," Kyle said. Aunt Diane pulled me out. I turned to her. "You remember. You jumped off the dock in your clothes. You did CPR on me on those planks right there. I threw up lake water on your shoes." Diane's face had gone white. She wasn't laughing now. "I remember. I thought he was gone. He wasn't breathing. And you know what happened after?" I looked at my mother. "Nothing. Nobody called anyone. Nobody sat Kyle down. You told me I scared everybody and ruined the barbecue. You made me apologize to him." My mother's mouth opened. "That was 30 years ago. He just did it to my daughter." My voice cracked and I didn't care. "The exact same thing. The exact same lake. And every one of you laughed. You laughed at an 8-year-old who almost drowned because you laughed at me 28 years ago too." Kyle's face had gone red. "It was a joke, man. Both times. Nobody actually." "She said she couldn't breathe. I said the same words to you." I stepped toward him. "I've never let Emma near this lake. Never told her why. I told myself I was being paranoid. And the one time I look away for 2 minutes, you do it to her." Diane stood up. "Kyle, you held that boy under until he stopped moving?" Her voice was shaking. "I did chest compressions on a child. I never knew you did it on purpose. You told everyone he slipped. He did slip. You just said you dunked him," my cousin Marcus said quietly. "You just admitted it like 30 seconds ago." Kyle looked around the shore, and for the first time I watched him realize the faces weren't with him anymore. My mother had both hands over her mouth. Diane was staring at him like she'd never seen him before. "Ryan, come on." He forced a laugh. "Back me up here. We're family." "Emma," I said, "show them your neck." She turned and lifted her wet hair. 4 red welts ran down the side of her throat where his fingers had gripped her while he pushed. Diane made a sound like she'd been hit. "You called her soft," I said, "in front of everyone. You called me soft for almost dying. So here's what's true, Kyle. You didn't toughen anyone up. You tried to drown a child twice, 28 years apart. And the only reason both of us are standing here is that somebody who actually loves us jumped in the water." I crouched, picked up his phone off his towel, and held it out to Diane. "You're the witness this time. Call it in. Tell them exactly what you saw on that dock in '98 and exactly what you just watched him do today."